Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 62 of Sooner Girl Sports Pod. And I have another great guest for you this week in our tennis player, Julia Garcia-Ruiz. Cannot wait for you to hear from her and her story and her journey to Oklahoma. But before that, I have a few updates and Sooner headlines of the week. But first off, as always, I want to give a special thank you to my sponsors, Marvin's Place Art Gallery, a fine art gallery and listening room in Ardmore, Oklahoma in the Depot District. Come experience amazing artwork, and on Friday nights, visit the Listening Room, an intimate and unplugged venue. They host singer and songwriters on Friday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Relax with a glass of wine or craft beer and enjoy some wonderful music. You can find out more about the gallery at marvinsplace.gallery and on their social media. And you can find the music calendar and all the information about their beautiful pieces of art and jewelry on their website. Also, thank you to Therapy to Go in Ardmore, the funnest place in town to drive through for a drink, and you don't even have to get out of your car. They have a large variety of spirits as well as fountain drinks and snacks. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Therapy to Go Ardmore. So if you're in the area, be sure and stop by. Tell Melissa, Allison, and the girls that Sooner Girl Sports Pod sent you for a free gift. And in thanking my sponsors, I want to add that they help me be able to continue to do my podcast and give a platform for people to speak up, to have a voice to share their stories, their journeys, and all about their lives that have touched so many of my listeners. And in that being said, I want to share a brief story about a special listener that reached out to me just in the last couple of days about last week's episode with our softball player, Riley Zakay. Now, remember, Riley is redshirting this season that was announced after we recorded the podcast, but she shared her story about when she was diagnosed last year with bilateral senatorial hearing loss and how that has affected her life on and off the field. If you missed that episode, I highly recommend going back to give it a listen. I have gotten so much positive feedback on that story, on that episode. It is one of my most listened to and watched episodes on YouTube and Apple. And I'm just so thankful and honored to have been a platform that allowed Riley to share that story and to reach so many people that it made a difference for. And I want to tell you about is an 8-year-old little girl named Chuck. Chuck's dad reached out to me on TikTok. He came across a TikTok that I had shared, a snippet from the conversation with Riley from last week's episode. He tells me that Chuck also has hearing loss, hearing aids. She plays softball. She's a huge OU softball fan, and they were attending a game this past weekend. He sent me a photo of her. She's standing out in left field there in their bleachers looking out, and you can see her hearing aid with the softball field in the background. I got their permission to share her story, to share that photo across my social media. And as I did that, I began receiving even more feedback from other people and also shared all of this with Riley, of course, who is more than thankful and honored to have had the platform to share and that it has touched so many people. And I truly just cannot say enough that what I do is a platform for people to share their stories, to have a voice, to have the audacity to take up space and be themselves in the world in whatever capacity that may be. And for Riley and for little 8-year-old Chuck, that means being bold and confident in yourself, regardless of any physical limitations that you may have. And there's not just always a quick Band-Aid to put on something like hearing aids. There's other complications that come along with that. Chuck's dad shared some of those things with me as well. And Riley talked about those in the episode last week. And it's just truly inspiring to hear people who are taking their, what most people would call limitations, and using it to reach others and make a difference in the world. And again, I'm just so thankful for the platform and that I have been able to give that platform to so many people to share their story. And again, if you missed that episode with Riley from last week, please go back and give it a listen. I highly recommend. And then also, if you missed the photo of Chuck, I did share that across all of my social media, in my stories on Facebook, Instagram, everything at Sooner Girl Pod. So go check it out. Again, I did have Chuck's parents permission to share this, and it just truly means a lot to me. So I hope that you'll go and show her some love as well. And if you haven't already, show Riley some love, give them a follow, shoot them a message, a comment on a post. They will see that, and it truly does mean a lot to them to know that they're making a difference. Okay, I do not have an injury report of the week. I did update last week again. Just a reminder, softball player Nellie McEnroe-Marinas is out for the season with an ACL tear. I did see her at the game this past Friday evening when I was there. She was doing some upper body exercises with the team, and she was introduced with the team on the reserve. Obviously, she is in the dugout. But Nellie, we wish you the best in your recovery. Hope it's speedy. We can't wait to see you back on the diamond soon. I also wanted to mention, I haven't seen anything else about this from either him or anyone else, but Daniel Akakumi, our football player, he posted on his social media last week that he was having some sort of surgery. If I was aware of what was anything going on with him, I have forgotten. I don't know what it was for, but I, again, am just hoping that he had a successful surgery and heals quickly, and hopefully he is good to go for the fall. And if I do find out any more information on that, I will be sure and let you know. Okay, so the last few months, I've been pretty busy attending a lot of different events: tennis, volleyball, baseball, basketball, softball, gymnastics, track and field, all the things. And so I often have people asking me, are you going to be at this? Are you going to be at that? So I've decided that each week on Mondays, I'm going to post on my social media, Facebook and Instagram stories, and then on my Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads. So you can find it there. And those platforms at Sooner Girl Pod. So go give me a follow if you don't already. But I posted today where I will be hanging out this week. This is the week of March the 16th. We have March Madness starting, first and second rounds. The men's tournament is hosted at Paycom in Oklahoma City, and our OU women are hosting the first and second rounds at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Our men are not playing in the tournament, which I will get there here shortly to discuss that a little more. But my husband and I love sports. We try to attend local rounds of the tournament anytime we get a chance. So we will be at Paycom both Thursday the 19th and Saturday the 21st. So if you're going to be there, shoot me a message at Sooner Girl Pod on social media. I'd love to say hello. I will also be at the women's rounds 1 and 2 in Norman at the Lloyd Noble Center on Friday and on Sunday, the 20th and the 22nd. So if you're going to be there as well, give me a holler. Also, if you're in town for basketball, the timing is working out perfect for you to head on over to the Headington Family Tennis Center to support our tennis guys. I will be there to cheer on my guy, Bruno Naveen, who I had on the podcast last fall. The men's tennis team does play at 5 p.m. at the tennis center, which is just across the parking lot from the Lloyd Noble Center. They play at 5 o'clock on Friday. So perfect timing. You can head over there, support them, and then head over to the women's basketball game that tips off at 9 p.m. on Friday. Now on Sunday, the men also play tennis at noon, again in the tennis center there just across the parking lot from Lloyd Noble, but we do not have a tip time for the women's basketball game. So I'm unsure of the timing, if that will work out for my attendance, but I will definitely be there on Friday. So I would love to see you come out and support Bruno and our men's tennis team. So give me a holler if you're going to be any of those places this coming weekend. I would love to see you out and about supporting our Sooners. And again, I'll be posting that each Monday on my social media at Sooner Girl Pod. Also, I want to give a congratulations and a shout out to our cheerleader, Jada Higgins, on being selected as a recipient of the prestigious E. Lynn Harris Award at the Women's SEC Basketball Tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. This honor recognized one Spirit Club member from each Southwestern Conference institution in memory of former Arkansas cheerleader and longtime volunteer coach E. Lynn Harris. Members of the E. Lynn Harris All SEC Spirit team are selected for their academic performance, commitment to service, and the way they represent their university. As a senior, Jada has shown leadership, consistency, and pride in the University of Oklahoma Spirit program. Her dedication to the team and the OU community makes her a deserving recipient for this recognition. So congratulations to you, Jada Higgins, our cheerleader, for being recognized for that award. A few quick football updates. Kyler Murray, it's finally a done deal. As I announced last week, he was released from the Cardinals officially, and early last week. Also, he was signed to the Minnesota Vikings, just a 1-year deal. But the first person I thought of, our guy Travis Davidson. If you don't follow him on social media, go give him a follow. He's a huge football fan and obviously a Minnesota Vikings fan. So he's more than thrilled to see Kyler join the purple and gold. I know Adrian Peterson, former Sooner. He also played for the Vikings some years ago. That's really the only tie I've ever really had to the Vikings, but I'm looking forward to another great trip destination to support Kyler. And I wish him the best of luck in Minnesota. I think he will be great. Kyler has always been a Vikings fan. There were photos floating around of him as a child in Vikings gear, Vikings uniforms. And so he is super thrilled to get to play for his childhood team. So I'm super happy for him in this fresh start, and best of luck to you, Kyler. All of us Sooner fans will be rooting for you. I failed to mention on last week's episode that our pro day was happening in Norman this past Thursday, but it was a great turnout. Every NFL team was represented in Norman that day. A lot of our players get to show out. John Mateer threw to all of our receivers, making them look good. There were tons of stars in the building as well. Sam Bradford arrived, did not have a credential, but the security guard said, quote, "He has a statue. I think he's good." So he went ahead and let him in. But Roy Williams, Lane Johnson, Danny Stutzman, Ethan Downs, Cody Ford, and several other former Sooners were in the building to support our guys at their pro day. All of our guys had a great show out there, and I'm looking forward to see where all they will be drafted and signed to. And draft day is at the end of April, so there'll be more to talk about regarding that in the coming weeks. Also, just a quick reminder, the spring football game kicks off at noon, Saturday, April the 18th. And there is baseball series at home that weekend, softball series against Arkansas at home that weekend. Women's tennis is hosting the SEC tournament that weekend in Norman. So there's a lot going on. If you want to support several of our programs, if you're coming into town for the spring games, let's start making arrangements for that. Okay, on to men's basketball. I want to give a quick shout out to our former Sooner, Austin Reeves, who plays for the Lakers, who hit 5K career points. That's huge. Shout out to him. Austin has really been putting a show on the hardwood with the Lakers. It's fun to see our former Sooners doing well in the big league. Also, it was announced Beef Selection Sunday, so late last week, that our new athletic director, Roger Denny, told ESPN that Porter Moser will return to the Sooners next year. They met, spoke about building the program for the following season, including increased resources throughout and specifically NIL for players. Roger released a longer statement on his social media, which is at Oklahoma_AD, if you want to go check it out. But I'll read a couple excerpts from it. He said, "At Oklahoma, we have a long history of embodying the underdog spirit. Men's basketball, that mentality has often led us outperforming our resources. It's on Coach Moser to make sure our team's performance continues to meet and exceed our resources for the program. He's done that, and I'm confident he will continue to do so. Underdog spirit will only take us so far. It's my job to ensure the resources match expectations. We haven't held up our end of the bargain. On top of how we resource the program, it's critical that our fans show out for our team, seeing firsthand the difference community makes in supporting college basketball. Bigger, louder crowd, true home court advantage, and zealous fans are essential. Oklahoma men's basketball is proud program. We're going to restore that pride together, Boomer Sooner." And I just want to give a few quick thoughts of my own on that situation. I like Porter Moser. I've said that before. I want him to do well. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great coach. And clearly, if you've watched this team throughout the season, you know that he has their respect. You don't lose 9 straight games in the depths of conference season in January, early February. Turn a team around to win, I believe it was 7 or 8 straight. You don't do that with having the respect of the players. If they don't have any kind of respect for you whatsoever, they're not going to continue to keep playing their hearts out and giving it their all. There's something about him that the players love, and we have to respect that. And also, for me as a fan, and I know there's a lot of things that go into this. I'm not trying to go off on any other aspect of this right now. The venue, the NIL, I know those are all separate subjects, but that's a conversation for later and I know I've talked about them before. But as a Sooner fan, as a basketball fan, I want to support my alma mater, my school, my team. I don't care if they play in a high school gym. I don't care if they play in Madison Square Garden. I don't care. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care who the players are. That's my team. They represent everything I know and love about college sports that I grew up loving, and I want to support them. Now, I'm not saying that all of those things are not important. I'm not saying that. Please don't misunderstand me. But I think a lot of fans need to be reminded that when you're down, when you're getting beat up, that's when you need people the most. Why in the world can we not get fans to support your team that you'll come running back to when they get back up to the mountaintop? Why are you not wanting to support them when they're losing 9 in a row in the pits of January? I mean, I know it's not fun to watch a team lose. I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I sat in the football stadium in the 90s when hardly anybody else was there because we were losing and we sucked. And it's hard. But I was raised with the pride of being an Oklahoma Sooner and being a proud fan and knowing that I want to support my team no matter what. So I think what Roger Denny is saying is a lot of that pride needs to be restored in the fans. You have to decide as a fan to make it a priority to support your team, win or lose, regardless. If you're in a losing season in life and everyone deserted you, you wouldn't want anything to do with them when your winning season came back. And I'm not comparing life challenges to the basketball court or the football field or anything else. I'm just putting a little analogy out there to maybe raise a little awareness and hopefully get a little point across there. But as a fan, I just want you to ask yourself, maybe you've never attended a basketball game, you're not really a basketball fan, but you're like, hey, I want to support my team, the coach, and give that. And if you think it's all bull crap, that all that doesn't matter, then I want you to show up and I want you to prove them wrong. If you show up and they continue to lose and to suck, then prove them wrong. Prove the AD wrong, prove the coach wrong, prove it all wrong, and just support your team, give them a chance. And I know the season's over for our basketball guys, which I will get there in a moment. So that opportunity for this season the ship has sailed. But we're looking ahead. November will be here before we know it, and basketball season, here we go. So you'll have your chance to reconsider, and I hope that you do that. One other thing I do want to point out, what Arkansas coach John Calipari said about Porter Moser. He said he's one of the good guys in our profession. He really thinks highly of him. He said they chose to invest in it. They chose to do all the things a championship team has to have and needs to have. He is a championship coach, and I mean it. He's a terrific guy. So I really think that we need to get behind our coach and support him. If you have the means and you can, donate to NIL and donate to the program to support them. But Matt Blackwell, Crimson captain, shout out to him for this. This is what he said on Twitter after that. Denny is sending a message not just to Porter and the OU fan base, but to all the coaching candidates he'll be interviewing if Moser does ultimately have to be replaced. On Denny's watch, they will not be made a scapegoat for the administration's failures. So that is the definition of leading from the front. So couldn't agree more. And I could sit and talk about that all day, but I won't. We will move on to talk about the SEC tournament for our men that happened last week. And what a good couple of days of good, fun basketball we had. I will say they kept me up late watching those games, but it was so worth it. Round one, we had a great win, 86-74 over South Carolina. We trailed by as much as 13, but then led by as much as 17. Nigel Pack had 5 threes and 24 points. Darion Reed, 20 points. Tay Davis, 15 of 18 points in the first half. We were 11 of 24 from the three, and we started out only at 1-8. Had a great win there, moved on to round two over Texas A&M. Another great win, 83. We pummeled them into the hardwood. Nigel Pack got hit in the face. He had a little nosebleed, but he was able to come back. But there was just something about Ramadan Mo Wagi celebrating Ramadan. He only eats before the sun rises and after the sun sets, but he's really been on fire during that season. Nigel Pack, 20 points. X had 16. Darion, 15. Tay Davis, 14. And then Mo, Kirill, and Jadon and Dayton also had great contributions in that game as well. Unfortunately, moved on to round three. We lost to Arkansas 82-79, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's a 3-point loss to who ultimately won the conference championship. So, of course, I'm sad. I wanted them to win. I feel like if we had won just one more game, we would be sitting in the tournament right now. But unfortunately, that's not how it happened. But again, Arkansas went on to win the SEC tournaments. Keep that in mind. 82-79 final. Again, Nigel Pack, he just couldn't hit the game-tying three in the final seconds. but he did have 19 points. Tay Davis, Darion Reed, 17 points. We were the winner of 8 of our last 11 games, but it just was not enough. Even though our guys put forth quite an effort, but it eventually just ran out of gas in that quarterfinal. I definitely think that Oklahoma is a better team than their 19-15 record for sure. There were several we lost very close games. For example, that one even against Arkansas in the quarters. Just an extremely painful off season. Unfortunately, it's undoing from the January meltdown, like I mentioned, but just a sad day when our whole season ended at that game there in Nashville. But again, late season surge, not enough for us. We were among the first 4 out for the 3rd time in 5 years under Porter Moser. We did receive a bid to the NIT tournament, but ultimately declined it. We declined the invite also 2 years ago in the same situation. I have mixed feelings on declining that. Part of me is like, we had a healthy team that was on fire and doing well. Why wouldn't we want to continue to play? Kind of a bittersweet in there to the season, but not by decision to make. I know there's lots of factors that play into that. Ultimately, they decided not to play in the NIT. So again, goes back to the off season, building up with the resources and the players, and looking forward to next season and Porter Moser at the helm. But shout out to our women's basketball. Aliyah Chavez been named ESPN's National Freshman of the Year, which is hilarious since, as I talked about last week, she was not given the SEC Freshman Player of the Year that was given to Vanderbilt's Galvin. Even though Aliyah had won the SEC Freshman of the Week more times than Galvin, she was not awarded the Freshman of the Year. ESPN, they know what's what, and they gave it to her. We clocked in as a number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament on Selection Sunday, and we take on number 13 Idaho in Norman this coming Friday night, March the 20th at 9 p.m. We will take them on, and Michigan State, Colorado State are the other 2 that are in our bracket. They will play at 6:30 p.m. on Friday evening at Lloyd Noble. And then the winners of those 2 games will turn around and play again on Sunday at home. Tip time is to be announced on those. And the winner of that will advance to the Sweet 16 in Sacramento the following weekend. Unfortunately, the Sooners were not put in that Fort Worth bracket, so it'll be a little more difficult for Sooner fans to travel out to the West Coast to support our ladies in the Sweet 16 if they do advance. But I guess the good thing is we'll have a fairly decent path in that bracket since we will not have to face UConn in that Fort Worth bracket. So stay tuned this coming weekend. Again, women tip off Friday night at 9 p.m. And then if they win that game, they will play on Sunday. And the winner of that game will then advance on to Sacramento. So I'll have all the updates on that on next week's episode. Quick update on our women's gymnastics team. Half of our vault lineup is ranked nationally in the top 5. Addison Fata, Mackenzie Estep, and Kira Wells all in the top 5 there. Just incredible athletes we have on our team. They stay steady, being ranked number 1 in the nation. We defeated Michigan and Eastern Michigan on the road this past Friday night, 197.925 to 197.1, and Eastern Michigan's won. OU took the title on vault, bars, and beams at the meet, but lost out to Michigan on the floor. We did have our worst score on bars since January, but we made up for it in the second rotation on vault. 2 OU gymnasts tied for the all-around title during the meet, Mackenzie Estep and Addison Fata. Lily Peterson's still out with the flu, so I'd surely hope she's well by the postseason this coming week, where we have the SEC tournament in Tulsa at the BOK Center on Saturday, the 21st. The Sooners are entering the tournament as the top number 1 seed, and they will compete in the evening session. Our gymnastics had a off week this past week, and they are about to head out to Berkeley, California for a rematch against Cal for the regular season finale on March 21st. And then after that, they will begin preparing for their postseason. I do want to give a shout out to men's gymnastics senior Ignacio Yockers. He was named the MPSF Gymnast of the Week, and sophomore Francisco Velez Belendez was named the Conference Specialist of the Week last week as well. Huge shout out to our baseball team, number 8 in the polls this week, and they keep rising each and every week as they continue winning. Shout out to my guy Brendan Brock that I had on the show just a couple weeks ago, SEC Player of the Week, for his contribution this past week in our midweek game at UTA and the Texas A&M series over the weekend. Our midweek game last week, we had a 6-1 win over UT Arlington. Brendan Brock, again, 3 for 4 at the plate, 3 RBIs. Mason Bixby was really impressive in 2 innings of work on the mound. As we prepared for conference play that coming weekend, Texas A&M in Norman. We dropped the Saturday game to them, but ultimately won the series. A Friday night, we had an excellent win, 8-7. We rallied from separate 4 and 3 run deficits to down number 22 Texas A&M in that SEC opener at home. Jackson Willits had a 3-run home run. Brendan Brock had 2 3-run home runs, 2 RBIs. It was a wild win for OU. Unfortunately, Jackson Willits got suspended for a bat flip and had to sit out Saturday game. What was ironic, if you missed all this on social media, you might want to go give it a look. The Texas A&M coach also tossed a bat and was yelling obscenities across the field to our coaching staff. Nothing happened to him. Not going to go off into that, but it was quite the uproar on social media over the weekend. But Jackson Willits hit that game-tying home run and spiked a bat in front of the Texas A&M dugout. Texas A&M head coach Michael Early chucks the bat toward the backstop. Early and Oklahoma's coaching staff exchange F-bombs. Jackson gets suspended for the rest of that game and Saturday's game. Early gets no repercussions at all. So very interesting turn of events there. Saturday, unfortunately, suffered a 5-9 loss to A&M. Brendan Brock hits the team leading 6th home run of the year that day as Jackson Willits set out, but he was back on Sunday. We won the series with a 12-11 win over number 22 A&M to win the SEC opening series. Welcome back, Jackson Willits. He was 2 for 4 at the plate, 4 RBIs. Trey Gamble also home run, 3 RBIs. And just a fantastic outing for our baseball guys this past weekend. Next up, they play at Southeastern Louisiana on Tuesday night. So if you're listening to this the day it drops on Wednesday, the 18th, this will have been the night before. They play at Southeastern Louisiana. But this coming weekend, the weekend of the 19th, they play at LSU. Softball is moving up the rankings as they shuffle around a little bit. Number 4 and 5 in the rankings, depending on the poll you look at. We did have a great midweek win versus Tulsa last week, 12-1 on a very windy night in Norman, a 20th run rule game of the season that night. At that point, we had 108 home runs, 7th most in a season. Ella Parker had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Gabby Garcia, 3-run home run. Elena Agbayane, Lexi McDaniel also had home runs, and Alyssa Parker got the win in the circle. Also, at this point, I wanted to give an update on Ella Parker, her home runs by the season. In 2024, she hit 13 home runs in 66 games. In 2025, last season, she hit 15 home runs in 59 games. And so far this season, 27 games, that girl has already hit 13 home runs. So she has tied her 2024 mark and nearing the 2025 season mark. And she has been on a tear with 7 home runs in the last 7 home games. That was her 4th multi-game homer. She continued that this weekend in our series sweep over Auburn. The return of S.J. Guerin, who's one of our former Sooner pitchers, now at Auburn. Friday, a great run roll win in 6 innings, 13-5 win. We got an early 3 deficit, but we responded well. Patty Gasso said that Kai Manner's impact is felt by the team and her presence goes under the radar, and I could not agree more. That girl does not get the recognition she deserves. She definitely should get some Freshman of the Week honors from the SEC. Patty Gasso said, quote, "She quietly does it. She has a short, sharp swing and creates havoc. If she gets the ball through a gap, it's an easy triple for her." Minor that night went 2 for 3 with a double and a triple, displaying her blazing speed on a 2nd inning triple. She leads the best offense in college softball with a .534 average as a freshman. Just truly incredible. Gabby Garcia recorded her first 4-hit game, 5th 2-home run game, and 6th 4 RBI game. Alyssa Parker ended it with a sac fly. Gabby Garcia again 2 home runs, a 9-run bottom of the 2nd inning for our girls, and Cassidy Pickering, Ella Parker back-to-back home runs on Friday night. Saturday game 8-5 win over Auburn. We trailed 5-1, came back, showed that resilience. Cassidy Pickering 2-run home run. Alyssa Parker pitched 3 innings in relief from Miley Guacchino. She had 3 Ks and got the win. Oklahoma starters allowed 6 home runs and 7 innings of work in 2 games against Auburn so far that weekend. Freshman Alyssa Parker allowed no runs, 4 hits, and only 1 walk in 5 innings of work for her in the circle. Sooners completed the sweep over Auburn on Sunday with a 14-2 win. If you did not see the weather or anything from that game, there was a video of one of our girls at the plate, and it looked like there was like a tornado whirling up around her as she's batting in that crazy Oklahoma wind that was stirring up all kinds of debris on the field. Home run tally after this game's up to 115. Kendall Wells is up to number 21. Thank you to my friend Teresa Lakin for helping me keep tally on those stats. There are 297 D1 softball teams in the country. Freshman Kendall Wells has 21 home runs, and there's over 200 teams who have 20 or fewer home runs as a team. Kendall Wells has 21. Just truly remarkable. Patty Gasso said in the post-game shout out to the fans, saying she would not have attended a game for her favorite team with that win like that. Kendall Wells again homers twice in the fourth to lift us to that run rule win and sweep of Auburn. 5 RBIs for her as well. 4 players with 2 RBIs, Pickering, Minor, McDaniel, and Ella Parker. And then Audrey Lowry in the circle, 4 innings pitched and 4 Ks. Our Sooners hit the road. We set at a 28-2 record, 3-0 in conference. Hit at Memphis on Wednesday night, and then a 3-game set at Ole Miss next weekend. 2026 Oklahoma softball by the numbers through week 6. We are 8-1 versus top 25 teams, 22 run rules, 86 runs scored, 82 runs allowed, 79 hits with a .452 average, 73 walks, 6 shutouts, 12 errors, 3.09 team ERA, 148 Ks through 168 innings pitched, and we're on a 17-game win streak. Quick reminder for soccer, their spring schedule is out. There's a couple of opportunities for you to catch them playing in Norman for free in April. And also if you live in the DFW area, they have a couple of games there coming up through the rest of March and April as well. Also a shout out, our wrestling guys are headed to the NCAA championships this coming weekend in Cleveland, Ohio, March 19th through 21st. Conrad Hendrickson, Carter Smith, Tyler Wells, Carter Schubert, Ryan Saldano, DJ Parker, who I had on the podcast back in December, and Juan Mora are all representing OU in the tournament. So best of luck to our guys this coming weekend. Also, I want to give a shout out to our former volleyball player and current player for the Indy Ignite, a volleyball player, Lydia Martin. She is leading the league in blocks. So if you don't follow her or the Indy Ignite on social media, I would go do that. Check out some of the videos of her and her blocks. They are so much fun to watch. In case you didn't know, there is a pro volleyball league in Dallas, and Lydia's team has played there a couple of times this season. But if you're a volleyball fan, I highly suggest checking out that professional volleyball league. I know they're kind of winding down their season this time of year, but just a fun team to follow, and especially watching some of our Sooners. And we also do have another former Sooner, Amani Bush, that plays with Lydia as well. Okay, our tennis women ranked number 10, SEC Freshman of the Week, Evelina Saskovic. We had a 4-0 win over Ole Miss Friday, a 4-0 win over number 7 LSU on Sunday. And next up for our girls, they hit the road at Ole Miss on the 19th and Bama on the 21st. Our men's tennis, congratulations to Lewis on surpassing 100 total collegiate wins. That's incredible. Our guys did have a 4-1 win over number 13 Texas on the road. They beat them in Austin. Next up for our guys, again, they'll be home on Friday versus Auburn and Sunday versus Bama. I'd love to see you there. Track and field, congratulations to our head coach, James Thomas. Had him on the pod last summer. He is an awesome guy. He was just named the head coach of Team USA at the 2026 World Athletics Indoor Championships in Kujaway, Pomorze, Poland. Also, our men's outdoor ranked number 7, men's high jump number 1, women's triple jump 4, women's pole vault 6, women's high jump 9, women's long jump 9. In the final rankings of the indoor season, Kennedy Stringfellow finished number 1 in the long jump, BJ Green number 2 in the triple jump, Kyron Washington and Tyson Ritz number 2 in the high jump, and Hannah Piffner, number 8 in the high jump, Floyd Whitaker, number 8 in the triple jump. Our men finished 11th in the nation after the indoor season. Kennedy Clark finished the indoor season second team All-American, 15th place. Kennedy Stringfellow finished 12th, second team All-American. Hannah Piffner in the women's high jump finished at 11th place and secured second team All-American honors. Kyron Washington, high jump runner-up silver medalist. And 4 Sooners earned the first team in men's high jump, Tyson Ritz, who tied to finish for 7th as a first team All-American, Trey Bartholomew, 5th place and first team All-American. Kyron Washington, first team All-American, and BJ Green finishing 4th and earning the 5th first team All-American honor of his career. Floyd Whitaker placed 14th and became an indoor second team All-American for the second consecutive season. Outdoor season starts for our track and field crew this coming weekend at TCU. Our rowing team is number 25 in the polls. They had a successful morning and afternoon session at the Oak Ridge Invite in Tennessee. This past Saturday, we took care of business against the hosts that weekend, Louisville Rowing, in typical Sooner fashion with an over 12-second margin of the host. They had a huge showing out on Sunday as well. Both of the boats in the fours took first for the second time that weekend, and the final races had them finishing 3rd and 2nd in those boats. 6 race wins, 15 top 3 finishes in 2 days. And next up for our rowing girls, Columbus, Ohio, for the Ohio State Spring Regatta on March 28th. Our women's golf team is in Austin for the Betsy Rawls Invitational that just started today as I'm recording this. On Monday, March 16th at the Round 1 turn in Austin, the last update I had, the Sooners were sitting in 2nd place, and Reagan Cheney is tied for 4th. I had Reagan on my podcast last spring. Our men's golf team this week is at the Arizona Thunderbirds Intercollegiate, March 16th and 17th as well. Clark is in 1st place currently, and the Sooners are tied for 3rd as they head to the back 9 in round 1. That's the latest update for them as I'm recording on Monday afternoon. Okay, my Sooner MVPs of the week. Softball, Kendall Wells. Again, I failed to mention in the softball segment, but she is Softball America's Freshman of the Week last week. Shout out Kendall Wells. Again, 115 home runs total, 21 of them by Kendall. Also, our baseball team winning the opening SEC series over Texas A&M. Women's basketball, Elia Chavez, ESPN National Freshman of the Year, and hosting rounds 1 and 2 of March Madness in Norman this coming weekend. And also track and field coach James Thomas for being named the head coach for Team USA this summer. And for our men finishing 11th in the nation, and our Sooners finishing on the podium at 1st and 2nd All-Americans of the indoor season. Okay, to end this segment with a Sooner fun fact of the week, there are 6 Sooner wrestlers who were named to Flow Wrestling's top 100 wrestlers of all time list. So super cool that our Sooner wrestling program is represented in that national list. Okay, again, thank you all so much for your overwhelming support. I cannot thank you enough. Go get you a hoodie, SoonerGirl.BigCartel.com. Go follow me on all social media at SoonerGirlPod on all platforms. Go check out my Substack. Ladies, check out the Locker Room. You can find everything in my link in bio on all my social media, my link tree. Everything's linked there. If you're looking to be a sponsor or advertise, shoot me an email at SoonerGirlSportsPod@gmail.com. I would love to get you on board. Okay, on to this week's interview with the amazing Julia Garcia-Ruiz. She's from Morelia, Mexico. She started playing tennis at the age of 4 at summer camp, and ever since she has always had a racket in her left hand. She's traveled all over and lived many different places with a life story full of ups and downs, but always choosing to see the positive. She's proud to be an Oklahoma Sooner, and she became a Sooner because of her friend and former teammate, Dana Guzman. She played at OU before Julia got there, and she basically recruited her. Julia has a lot of Sooner memories, but one of her favorites is playing against Cal at their court last season when she clinched the win for her team. That was a really special match for her. And you can find her on Instagram at juliagarcia.ru. And I will be tagging her all of this in the show notes and on social media throughout the week. So I hope you guys enjoy my conversation with Julia Garcia-Ruiz. Have another great conversation for you next week with our soccer player, Allie Lassinoli. So I can't wait for you guys to hear that one. So until then, everyone cheer Boomer Sooner, cheer on all of our teams this weekend as they are competing. And I will see you next Wednesday where we talk sports. A tennis shirt on.
Love it. Love it.
It's a brand new addition to my closet, so I'm very excited about it.
Yes.
I am planning to make it to several events, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you should. We have a really good schedule at home, actually. Last season, we traveled a lot. Like we went to Auburn, Georgia.
Yes.
And Georgia won the Nationals. And then we went to Texas A&M. We went to Texas. So we have pretty rough schedule away last season, but
yes,
this one is gonna be at home, so I'm really happy for it.
Good. I'm glad. I did make it last spring when you guys hosted round 1. of the postseason, and I was there for day one, and that was a good day. So we'll just focus on that day.
Yes, please.
But it was a lot of fun. It was beautiful weather, so you can't beat that. So I'm looking forward to another great season for you guys for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about you. I know you said you've been playing tennis since you were about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And you started out young with your racket and you've held on to it ever since. So tell me a little bit about your tennis journey.
Yeah, I started playing tennis whenever I was 4. I started in a summer camp. I was also doing soccer at the same time. I was going to church. I love to go to take math classes. So I was everywhere. My mom was really tired. At one point, she was like, okay, you have to decide what you want to do. So I
Yes.
think I picked tennis, and I think it was the right choice for sure. And then I started traveling a lot. Whenever I was 8, I started traveling and playing more nationals. Like in tennis, you have to play nationals to keep building confidence and keep building experience more whenever like really young. So I started playing really young tournaments. And then whenever I was 10, I started representing Mexico. So it was really fun. I started traveling to Europe, Canada, making more friends, and I have some friends that I made on those trips that are in college. So that was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And actually, I was not really good whenever I was like that age.
Uh-huh.
I had friends that they were really good. Like some tournaments, Coco Golf was there, Leila Fernandez
Wow.
there. So I was like, oh hi, I'm Julia. So I know that one day I will be playing the same tournament. So I'm just really excited for that in the future. But when I was around 15 years old, I started playing more. I left home when I was 13. I went to Mexico City for a new academy that was about from the government. And whenever I was like 15 years old, it closed. And then I changed to my last academy that it was in Merida, close to Cancun. And with them, it was really helpful. I finished top 20 of the world. I played Grand Slams, US Open, Wimbledon, French Open, Roland Garros. I didn't play Australian Open because of COVID. But it has been a really long journey. I decided to come to college because Dana was here. Dana Guzman. She was the main reason that I came to
that.
So, yeah.
Well, I recognize Dana's name, of course, from over the years just following OU sports, and I'm sure all the other tennis lovers will as well. So that's really cool that was what got you to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned last year you guys had a pretty tough road schedule and you played a lot of tough places. So what was the toughest place that you guys played on the road last year for the first season in the SEC? The toughest place that you're glad you don't have to go back to this season?
For sure, the toughest play was Georgia.
Okay.
I already went there in my freshman year with the Corleys, Lane Sleet, Emma Staker, Dana Guzman. It was such a great team. We went there to play, I think, Sweet 16 of NCAA. So we lost on that round, but the environment was really hard. So I was really excited to go last season. And actually, like Dasha Bismanova, she was number 1 in the country in singles. He was also really excited to go to play that match. So I think they brought all the fans that they had. They were really excited. They were really pumped. And the environment's different in there. Like, college tennis, you have to be loud and your fans have to be really into it of the match. If not, it's gonna be, they can destroy you.
Yes.
Georgia did their job on bringing the fans and bringing all the tennis. So it was really tough. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to my first tennis matches in person last season. I saw the men like in March or April, and then I came and saw the women in that first round of the postseason. And it is so much fun to watch. Now the men were indoors. It was very cold that day, but you guys were outdoors. But regardless of indoors or outdoors, I have told people how exciting it is to come and support you guys, and just get involved in the sport because, for one, like you being from Mexico, and I talked to Bruno Naveen back in the summer, and him being from Africa and talking about his journey to Oklahoma. You guys don't have family that can just pop in and support you. So it's very important that us fans, like you said, show up and support and be loud and make it a tough atmosphere to play for the opponent that's there. So I have really been trying to encourage people to mark those calendars and just tell people to get out and come see you guys because it's free, for one thing. And it's so much fun to watch tennis. And I think you guys have a lot of great athletes and talent. And I love hearing your stories and how you got to Oklahoma. And I just think it's so important that we get out and support you guys. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, tennis is such a great sport. Like, it's physical, really mental. The match can be like 1 hour and a half, or in college it can be like 5 hours. Like I remember, because I had my whoop and my start the whoop like around 11:30 a.m. and I stopped it like at 5:30. So it was like it was the whole afternoon playing tennis. But I mean, I really enjoy it. Like this team this year, the 9 of us, we are international. We don't have any American girl in the team, unfortunately. But it's really nice to have an international team. We're trying to get more fans. Like everyone thinks that college tennis is gonna be another tennis match that you have to be quiet and just move your head to see the ball, but that's not true. Like we want people to have fun also. You can be as loud as you want, you can support whoever you want and scream during the points. Like we don't care. We love that. We want that. That's why we came to college. Like to have that atmosphere and that excitement that we cannot have it whenever we play alone or whenever we're playing a tournament. True. So yeah, I will say like to all the people that it's out there in Norman or want to come to participate in our matches, like it's gonna make such a difference and more in my last year. Like I really hope that people show up. We'll love to have all the fans in here. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I hope that they do. And the cool thing about it is there's so many courts. There's so much going on. You can move around and see different athletes and stay as long as you want. And that's the really cool thing about it. And it's a very exciting sport. So definitely looking forward to getting out and seeing you guys this season.
Yeah, we have definitely a new courts. We start playing on the new facility at the end of the season almost. Like
yes.
I think like you can move around, you can walk, you can do a workout in there, going to the stairs, whatever you want. But
yes,
it's a great facility. I think it's one of the best ones in the country for sure. Like we have a space for everyone in there. So yeah, the door is more open.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, so of all the places that you've been in the world, what are some of your favorite places that you've played at, and maybe even some of the most difficult places around the world, some of the places that stick out to you the most?
I'll say definitely Paris. I went to play French Open over there for 2 years whenever I was on ranking juniors. Mm-hmm. I went to play there a Grand Slam. You can feel that it's different. I mean, it's not just a tennis court. I mean, a Grand Slam, everyone want to play it. So it was a place in there. It was awesome. Also, I think my second favorite, I will say US Open, New York. It was my first time in New York whenever I went to play US Open. So the atmosphere, it was awesome also.
What are some of your favorite things about being in Oklahoma? I know you ended up here because of your friend, but she's been gone for a couple of years now, and so you stayed. So what made you stay in Oklahoma? What kept you here, and some of the favorite things you'll take as your memories after your senior year?
I think one of my favorite things, like I have a lot of things that I love from Oklahoma for sure. The first one is the people, like all the people that works at OU Athletics. It's really awesome. Like they're always happy to help us and to find the right solution for us. And I think the team, I think with Audra, she's been a great coach in here in OU. Like whenever she arrives, she started developing the program so good. They were not that good. Oklahoma was not really good whenever Audra arrives. Whenever I came to OU, it was the semester after, because I came in fall 2022, and on spring of that year they make it to NCAA final. They make it to indoors final also. They qualify for the first time to indoors. So it was something it was something special also about that team, that they wanted to do it really bad, and also they showed me a lot. They showed me what is to be a real Sooner. I think the energy, the passion for this program. Yes. And I think that's why I stay here. Like they left me with a mission to keep building their legacies. I'm trying my best to keep doing it. So also with Audra and with Cobra and with Edson, like we're like I'm working this year not only for me, but I hope whenever I leave Oklahoma and after this spring, I leave it with a mark, with a better legacy. So that's why I stay. Yeah, and awesome. That's why I love Oklahoma.
I love that. Well, you've been a very busy girl, and I've recognized your name over the last several years, and you've really accomplished a lot yourself, and therefore has gotten a lot of recognition for the university as well. But let's just talk a little bit about this past summer and into this fall, and where all you went and what all you accomplished during that time, because the list of accolades seem to go on and on. Maybe some of your favorite memories from the fall, maybe some of the hard moments, things that you overcame, or just anything that sticks out to you from these accomplishments that you've gotten.
Yeah, I think like to understand better, I have to go back to my whenever I start when I first tournament. Actually, it was on fall. I went to play it in NC State. I was like, okay, it's gonna be just 3 days of tournament. It's not gonna be that bad. After the second day, I was dead. But to have that energy of playing 2 matches per day, that intensity of that passion, it was a lot. And I was like, I remember looking at Audra like, my God, and I had to play the last day, and she was like, yeah, you have to play. You have to get done the job that you came to do. So after that, I was like, oh, man, I have to get better to accomplish the things that I want to. Like, I came to OU, okay, that was my main goal, but after that, there's more goals after just coming to OU. I want to make something different. So after that tournament, I was like, oh, I have to work harder, definitely. And after that tournament, all my teammates went to play All-Americans, and I didn't qualify. So I have to stay in here to practice with Jose. That at that time, it was the assistant coach. I was really practicing really hard. And then the next tournament, I played regionals. It's a kind of big tournament in fall, and I make it to the finals. I was kind of surprised that I handled the whole week playing tennis.
Yes,
so it was an improvement. Yeah, I made it to finals on that year, and I lost. And actually, we repeat that final on this fall. I play the finals. It was supposed to be against Carolina, that I played in my first final of regionals. So I think it was great to have that also this fall. But after that tournament on fall 2022, I went to play nationals in San Diego, and it was the best 64 players, I think, from the country. And I lost in the second round, but it was awesome. My fall year, and then it was spring. I was definitely not prepared for my first spring. I didn't know what to expect. Like, I was like, okay, it's gonna be just another match, but it was more to play for a team, more to play for each other. I was not really expecting that. Yes. So I struggled a bit on that season, the first one, but I learned a lot. I was like, I want to play the number on the court that Lane Sleet is playing.
Yes.
I accomplished that after she left the team.
Oh, yay! Well, good for you.
Yeah. So after my freshman year, I just worked the whole summer because I had to change something. And arriving to my sophomore year, it was Dana last season. So I was like, I'll have to do everything to make sure that she accomplished everything that she wants. So it was really fun to play also that season next to her on my sophomore year. Also up and downs a lot. I've been struggling with that, like just maintaining that energy and that confidence the whole time. So I hope to accomplish that this season. And last fall from my junior year, I make it to semifinals in NCAA on singles. And it was really special because that fall I was captain for the first time with Emma Staker. It was also Emma's last year. That fall it was really rough. Actually, I was struggling with school. I was missing home. I was like, I don't know if I want to keep playing after leaving college. I was doubting myself a lot on that fall, and I was just working with my team and with the coaches to find a solution or to enjoy it more. At the end, I qualified for NCAA, and it was in Waco. And one day, whenever I qualified, I remember Audra telling me, like, now you can breathe.
Right.
Now take a big breath and just enjoy playing tennis. Like, go for it, go after it, and enjoy it. So I make it to the semifinals on NCAA. Really close to make it to finals, but it was really a good accomplish. And last season also I was struggling a bit with up and downs, but I learned from it. I'm ready for this year. So this fall I was getting there. I was getting more confidence also being the captain of the team and trying to help them. So I think I improved so much from those lessons from the past. So I just have to keep growing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, like you've been saying, it's the sport teaches you a lot of lessons that you don't necessarily anticipate learning over the years. And there's just so many things that being an athlete prepares you for life after college or after your sport or whenever that may come. So what are some of those lessons that stick out to you that you feel like have changed you as a person and that will impact who you are off the court for the rest of your life?
Definitely staying humble and just work. That's the thing that I've been learning a lot on these 3 years. And also this year, just do the work, keep asking for more in yourself, and staying humble. Like, you have to stay humble. Everything comes back in life. So if you receive help from someone, be open to help, keep helping. So I learned that lesson. So I think that's the main thing.
Absolutely. That makes complete sense. Okay. Well, is there anything else that sticks out to you that you want to talk about or share? Anything, any memories or anything that I haven't asked you about?
I would say maybe last year that we played against Berkeley. Also, it was a good memory. Mm-hmm. It was really nice. We went to play there for ITF kickoff weekend to qualify for international. We make it. I did the clinch, and that week was really special. We connect a lot as a team, and I think that's why we did really well on last season. Absolutely. I think that was a really key week for us to have confidence and also keep building experience and relationship, because it was, at the end of the day, we're here to create a new family. So
for sure,
that was an amazing week. And just come and support tennis. It's really fun.
It is. It absolutely is. Well, I am so glad that you ended up in Oklahoma and that you stayed. And now you're just Boomer Sooner family for life, for sure.
For life.